The nice thing about the CFL is that it takes a while to warm up. This one's a little too fast for me. My previous one was much slower, and that is a yellow lamp. So when it's time to wake up, turn that on, and then it's like my sunrise, because the yellow light gets gradually brighter. Okay, now let's come over here, and this is what I'm going to disagree with. So, at the beginning,
comes to mind that we would have to depart Earth in order to survive. Even if we get to stay here, as long as scientists say we may be able to stay here before we go nova again with the Earth and the sun dies, our only star dies, then
and that's some terrible propaganda. So I'm glad that they bring up the propaganda part. Now, where I am in disagreement with this, come up here.
Now, NASA is split into two specific groups, Pastor. There's a hidden
So this
program.
Is some guy named
There's
Mike.
The public face. Everything has a public face.
Talking
Everything
to
comes in twos.
Paul Begley.
There's the government that the public sees. There's another
Mike
government behind it. There's the space program. There's another space program behind it. And what now you have to think, we've already gone to the moon in the late 60s, right? We already went to the moon.
20 minutes, 30 seconds.
And it was true, because any high optic device that can actually see the moon, they can see the flag there and everything else, the rovers and everything is up there. But we...
Okay. 20 minutes, 30 seconds. That guy just said that with a high optic device, you can see sorry, one finger typing. There we go. Can you see the flag on the moon with a telescope? The answer is basically not a chance. No earthbound telescope can see the flag on the moon. Now, I don't know if this is the one I went to for the first time, but this is the information I got. Now, the interesting thing is apparently this stuff was flagged as spam because I don't know why. Because I don't know why. But when I'm on Bible Fire and not Flying Axe Blade, you cannot see my comments. My comments don't show up. So actually, you cannot see the flag on the moon with a high optic device currently. Wiki or Google it. Pixel resolution is something like 330 feet on our best telescope, Hubble. So only things that are larger than a half a mile show up as 8-bit pictures, and not in Minecraft resolution either. So this guy just said that it could be. And so if the guy is making a false claim like that, what else is he misrepresenting? Now, the other thing is that he uses the word deception a whole lot. Oh, they're deceiving you, they're deceiving you, they're deceiving you. So then, what's going on at 25:24 is, well, we'll show you, right? Because we have that capacity. And they're showing this black hole.
We've had encounters with God's angels, God's messengers.
But black holes are just a theory. Also, there are no such things as black holes. I highly recommend that you check out Thunderbolt's project and get into plasma and away from theory science, you know, like evolutionary theory. Because names matter. If I said, let's go play a game of Quack Quack Honk, are you going to think Duck Duck Goose? Are you going to think about sitting around in a circle and someone going along patting everybody on the head and tapping someone saying goose and running around in circles? You know, that should be a competitive sport. There should be competitive Duck Duck Goose. 26-25. What's getting said here? Doink.
It's so deceptive, Pastor, because what they're doing is they're setting us. Now, they, to my understanding, folks, this is my personal understanding, they have a timeline to get the public acquainted with fallen angels. And that timeline is as of right now, maybe a year or less.
So, oh, 52. So we get a little bit further then.
Yes. So they're dealing with a short timeline because mankind is not making their own decisions in leadership. But right. Lucifer's, in fact, K-Saraf, the great horned dragon, is actually who they worship, by the way. They give homage to K-Saraf all the time. The great horned dragon, the dimensional dragon.
So I'm not exactly sure if you're saying K-Saraf or K-Sarat, but it's supposed to be Seraph. I always find it strange how people do that. And so how do you spell K-Saraf? Because, you know, that's not in the notes. Hello, focus. Now, quick primer in Hebrew. The seraphim are the highest order of angels. Is that correct? And seraph means flying, fiery serpent, also known as dragon. So that's not anything terrible. However, plasma arcing, also known as lightning, also fits this description. Because that fiery is sometimes translated poisonous. And electricity is fiery poison if you touch it. If you get hit by lightning. Alright, now, look at that. Okay, warning, warning, at 31:31. It must be a big giant deal here.
Coming to the earth, people have to already be climatized to life outside of Earth.
Okay.
So, these people are actually going to do this.
Let's go back to the point that already people don't trust their government. They don't trust the law enforcement.
I don't know how much he's been around.
It's the only thing they'll accept, the public. Number two, that's going to cause greater confusion in the earth.
Yes,
they're making this statement. We're already at a boiling point. Everybody's at a boiling point. There is a type climate chaos taking place right now. The climate in people, they're at a boiling point. People are no longer trusting law enforcement. Society is beginning to fall apart. And now they're going to say something is coming to Earth, but it's not going to be Blue Beam. It's just not going to be Blue Beam. The first one is going to be an introduction, and people ought to be reminded that the armies of the earth are going to fight God and 10,000 of his holy ones. In order to fight God and 10,000 of his holy ones coming to the earth, people have to already be climatized to life outside of Earth.
Okay.
So these people are actually going to do this.
Let's go back to the point that already people don't trust their government. They don't trust the law enforcement. They don't trust the United Nations, international bodies. They don't trust spiritual leaders. So already, and we have drought, We have Ebola. I mean, this guy throws Ebola out there. This guy was sent out to throw. He said to save humanity, to save mankind, to save the species. We're not going to.
You know what? And guess what? They absolutely know. Because what it said in Revelation 6, 17, it's talking about the
so
people
it's somewhere around that point. I guess I got it a little wrong. Oh, he's talking about the Mars Academy. And he's all like, oh, out of millions of applicants, they handpick these genetically perfect children. And they're training them. And go and look up Mars Academy. And it's open to any children. And it's more like an after-school program. And so, I don't know where he's getting his facts from, but they're pretty strange. Now, at 3737, he's here, and he says that it's going to happen on August 17th, 2015. So, seriously? A date? Hello, YouTube. Do you remember Elenin? Dates are meant to be broken, because you can't find a babysitter. No man knows the day or the hour. Now, you might know the week. But every single time in the past, well, everyone read your Bible, especially Mark and John, to a neighbor, 1 chapter a day, and you will benefit. But you can't just put a date on there. That's just terribly wrong. 43. And then he's there and he's all, anyone that's nervous, go and read Joel. What advice is that? If you're anxious, you need to turn to Matthew 5, not the Old Testament. And so that was really strange too. You know, how they just skip from Revelation to the Old Testament, Revelation to the Old Testament, or like 3-4 verses in the New Testament. They never go from Revelation to Matthew 5, or John 17, or John 5. And so, maybe he's on Spot the Expert. But that is what I got on there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 fact checks. And granted, it's a 46-minute video, but only half of it, only 20 minutes of it. So, let's say 24 minutes of it. That's every 4 minutes. I fact check this guy, in essence. That's not very good record. Alright. Well, I normally really like TruthShockTV, but this one, I have to thumbs down. I think that was really bad. And I just needed to share that. Cherishes me love. Do well.